Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your April 2019 mid-month general reading. So we're looking at the remainder, the last half of April 2019. Thanks for joining us here today. Welcome to any newcomers, any first-timers, and welcome back to any followers and subscribers. Thanks for taking the time to tune in today, for sending in all your support, feedback, and comments. Like, shares, and subscribes. Always welcome, always appreciated. And a big note of gratitude to all of my clients out there, regular and new, for the continual busyness with personal one-on-one readings. Thank you so much. It's a blessing to read for you. And if any of you are interested in setting up a personal reading with me, live or recorded, you can get more info and contact details by clicking on the description link below or going to my YouTube channel homepage and clicking on the little About button there. You can email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you. I can usually respond to your initial request with more info the same day or within the first 24 hours. And scheduling personal readings is pretty good too. I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is all that I do. So I'm pretty diligent at working with both your schedule and mine to get you a reading as quickly as possible. And I do a wide variety of readings of all different types and lengths and costs in all the main areas of life. So if you're interested, send me an email and we will go from there. All right, let's move right into this. This reading is for the Earth sign of Virgo for the remainder of April 2019. Our extraordinary Virgos. Let's see what the remainder of April has in store for you. Okay, Virgo, we begin with the Page of Swords, followed by the Knight of Cups. We have the Ten of Pentacles, followed by the Empress. And from the bottom of the deck, the overall energy and focus for the remainder of April is the Nine of Swords. As I always say, when the Nine of Swords pops out, it's never really a card I like to see. The insomnia card, the staying up late at night because you're stressed, anxious, worried, and fear about something. Usually when this card shows up, the fear is about something happening or not happening in the future. It's usually about something which hasn't really played out yet, but you're afraid will or you're afraid won't, and what do you do about it? Thinking about it over and over, obsessing about it over and over until you can't sleep. It's interfering with you and you're fearing something. It's like always the worst possible outcome until you've got to have it built up so big in your head that is actually doesn't reflect the reality of the situation. Meaning that it's not exactly all of that bad. It's not exactly all that bad. The positive aspect to this is that it's somewhat illusionary energy. Swords is about how we think, what we believe, how we perceive things, because that affects the way that we see the world and relate to the world and communicate. So the positive aspects to the Nine of Swords is that it doesn't have to be this bad. The source of whatever your concern, fear, or worry is might be valid, but the Nine of Swords usually shows up when you're making it into a much more enormous thing than it needs to based on fearing the worst possible outcome. I feel like for some of you, quite distinctly, I'm getting a very specific message for some of you that this worry, fear, anxiety is about your mother. Because, before I pull a clarifying card for that Nine of Swords, let's just go through the other four. We have the Page of Swords and the Knight of Cups around the middle of the month, third week or so, although time is always fluid and tricky, and never more so than in a general reading. So for many of you, this is a situation that's already playing out. The Page of Swords, messages, news, information coming in here. But the Page of Swords is also represents because swords is air energy, it's about how we think, but it's also about honor, truth, enlightenment, the right thing to do. The Page of Swords can also often represent, pages are just starting out. They have that youthful, because they're pages, they have that youthful student apprenticeship kind of energy. They can sometimes represent children or young people. I feel like some of you are the child in the sense that for some of you, this is about your mother or mother figure or somebody's mother figure. Could be an in-law as well. The Page of Swords is at the beginning of a path of trying to learn something, trying to figure something out. And the Page of Swords can often represent sometimes trying to figure out what the best way to do something is, trying to sort your mind out about the best way to proceed in something. Maybe feeling like you don't know an awful lot, that there's a lot more to learn, but you're trying to figure something out. You're trying to put something together in your mind. It can be a new course of learning. But it can also represent being in an ethical or moral situation where you're trying to figure out how the right way is to navigate through this. What's the most ethical, the right way to navigate through this? What's the right thing to do here? Now, what clarifies it is the Knight of Cups. So knights are the bringers, the deliverers. They often represent offers, opportunities, the speed at which situations move. Cups is water energy. In the tarot, this is the energy that governs the emotional area of our life, our emotional landscape, feelings, and also the area of our life that deals with relationships. So the Knight of Cups is charging off with his cups. He's offering love, support, encouragement, sharing his feelings. It could be somebody for some of you in terms of love and romance, you might be, stressing out, because you really like somebody and you feel like you want to tell them and you're not quite sure what the right way to go about is telling them. Do I just charge ahead like this Knight of Cups with my, dozen roses and box of candy and bad poetry? What's the best? I really want to tell this person, that I like them or how I feel about them, and I'm kind of stressed out about how it's going to be received or whether I'm going to do it the right way or the stupid way. What's the best way to do this? Some of you, it might be that. Some of you, I feel like, you're finding yourself in a situation where you want to offer some kind of love or emotional support, particularly for those of you for whom this is a mother or mother-in-law or mother figure, but you're not quite sure for some reason you feel like you have to tread carefully or you want to get it right and you're really stressed out about that. Some kind of emotional help or encouragement. Now, next to that, we have the Ten of Pentacles and the Empress. Around the, last week of the month or towards the end of April 2019. Of course, as I always say, timing is fluid, so take timing with a grain of salt. So the Ten of Pentacles is, excuse me, about long-term stability and longevity that comes from the work that went into it. It used to be considered the inheritance card. And what does inheritance really mean? It means a present day sense of prosperity or abundance. It could be an actual inheritance issue like money from the division of an estate or property or something of that sort. But it's there because of what went into building it up, the long, slow accumulation of all the time, the work, the history, the love, the resources, etc., to make it what it is today. So long-term stability and longevity. Pentacles is earth energy. And in the tarot, earth is the element which governs the suit of pentacles, and it's about the earth area of our life, the stability and security of the structure of our lives. It can be things like money, finances, property, resources, assets, job, etc., or the energy that we put into things that gives us a sense of security and stability about the actual structure of our lives, our home, our money, where we live, our stuff, etc., or long energy that we put into long-term relationships or career paths, etc., that bring us or make us feel stable and secure, which is why it used to be called the inheritance card. Long-term longevity and stability, rooted things. Now, and it's sitting right next to the Page of Swords. So how do I say this? What's the best way to say? I'm not asking you, I'm actually saying this is the dilemma here. How do I make this offer about this? Or how do I present this? How do I offer either my love or my emotional support and encouragement? Now, the Ten of Pentacles is clarified by the Empress, the traditional Earth Mother of the tarot. For some of you, I am getting the specific message right from the very beginning. This is about your mother, your mother-in-law, or a mother figure, about how to offer some kind of support or encouragement or loving support and encouragement. I feel like for some of you, it may even be physical support of some kind. How can I support you towards increasing your sense of stability? I feel like for some of you, there is a specific, and this will probably only resonate with a few of you because this is a specific message. Your mother, mother-in-law, mother figure is ill, or she's recovering from surgery, or it's under the physical aspect. For some of you, I feel like there may be perhaps some early dementia or Alzheimer's issues too. There's something about her mental and or physical stability and health that is an issue, and you want to kind of come in and offer to help or offer to provide something or offer to help navigate through this, but you're you're stressing out about it because you're not sure what the right way to do it is. Excuse me, or how to go about doing this. And it might be, Virgo, because your mother might be a very feisty, independent sort of person. And also, if this is, dementia or Alzheimer's issues, she may be a little on the nervous or insecure, or, sometimes, paranoia about people, wanting to put them away, or something like that might be an issue too. So you're kind of wanting to tread carefully here. I feel like you're not the only one in this issue, though. Your father might also be also wanting to offer help and support, or maybe somebody else who's also involved in that, or another family member. But you're stressing out because you're not sure how to proceed, what you should do, what you should say, or how to do that. For others of you, it could be somebody that you view very, especially in love and romance, you want to, give this offer of make your feelings known, offer this love, or make your feelings known, or ask somebody out that you see as the Empress, this very lovely, feminine, sensual, sexy sort of individual, somebody that you see as the Empress. The Empress is also a card of fertility, and this could be literal fertility. Some of you may be, stressed out and anxious. You may be wanting to start a family or add to a family, or something of that sort. And there's this strong element of worry and stress and anxiety. Maybe you want to tell your partner, I want to have a baby, and for some reason you're trying to figure out how to do it, or what's the best way to do it, or you're stressing out about doing it. Maybe you talked about not having kids, and now you've changed, and so how do I do this? Maybe you are pregnant already, and you're trying to figure out the best way to tell somebody about the fact that you're pregnant, and you're stressing out about it because maybe it wasn't something that you'd planned as part of, maybe you're working towards, just earth-oriented stability and security, and kids were not part of that, or were not part of that just yet, and you find that you're pregnant, and you're trying to figure out, what's the best way to say that I am, or tell that I am, or, fill in the blank. The details and specifics in a general reading are always going to vary, but the energy is fundamentally the same. So let's pull a clarifying card or two for this Nine of Swords, all this stress and fear about what's going to happen, what's not going to happen, what do I do? The Knight of Swords and the Devil. So the Knight of Swords is bringing information, messages, news, conversation. And to clarify that, the Devil, which is a card of instability, fairly profound, significant instability. Sometimes this card can represent, addictions, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, some other kind of toxic imbalance in their lives, negative toxic relationships, codependence, sometimes mental health issues, where the scales are really out of balance. And it can represent a lot of different things. So again, for those of you for whom this is a mother, mother-in-law, or mother figure, it could be, illness of some kind, mental health issues in terms of maybe Alzheimer's or dementia, and you're perhaps something happened recently and you're being told, look, we have to make different arrangements, or you have to make different arrangements because how she's living day to day isn't working, and we need to set something else in place. We need to start making some plans, and it's about how do we go about doing this. I do feel like you're not the only one for many of you, but if you are, I think that you definitely shouldn't be shouldering this kind of weight alone. You need to get some help and advice with that as well. Some of you, it might be, God forbid, but it does happen. It might be your mother, maternal figure, or even you that's having issues with drug or alcohol abuse or mental health issues as well. And again, the news or information is that we need to make plans on how to do this. What's the best way to support whoever it is, through this process, so that we can get this sense of security, stability, and structure of the day-to-day life in place, or back, or more stable. For those of you for whom it's more on the love or romance front, and you're stressing about how to, again, some of you for whom it's fears around pregnancy, or telling somebody or somebodies, maybe like your family, about pregnancy. I feel like this devil for those of you is more of a fear and less of an actual reality that everyone's going to just totally freak out and the world's going to blow up. It's not, I don't feel like it's that. I feel like these clarifying cards are more for issues around a specific person who's having specific problems, drug or alcohol addiction, mental health issues, or something of that sort. So yeah, something needs to be done and you're trying to figure out what's the best way to offer or even get support during this time. You have it in there, the Knight of Cups. He has this emotional stuff to offer, but the Page of Swords is, well, what's the best way to do this? And is there an ethical way to do this? What's the best way to do this? Or how do I say the words? Let's pull a clarifying card for this Empress. The Six of Cups, yes, so for some of you it is a mother figure, a maternal figure. The Six of Cups is often the card of the past, childhood, roots of origin, family. For some of you it might be somebody from your past that you want to make this emotional offer to in terms of under the umbrella of a more love and romance sort of thing. It might be someone, in fact, that you want to have children with. Some of you for whom this is a pregnancy issue, pregnancy is a new life is always a blessing, but again, there might be stress about, this wasn't planned, or, how do I impart this information? The Six of Cups is a card of childhood and of family. Some of you, this may be a person that you want to have children with. Again, it's going to vary. The energy remains the same, but of course the details and specifics will vary because there's many of you watching and everyone has very different stories. So let's pull a final advice and guidance card from Spirit. What's the best way to navigate through this situation for Virgo? I hope I didn't say Taurus. This is for Virgo. For Virgo through the remainder of April 2019. Advice and guidance. Oh, okay. The Three of Pentacles, teamwork, partnership, collaboration. Sometimes this card shows up when you have to partner or work with people you may not even necessarily like. So it's always nice when you do, but sometimes it's not always. Sometimes, it might be that you have to maybe have a meeting or work with other family members if this is a family issue, particularly with the mother, to try to figure out what you're going to do, because the Three of Pentacles is a card about partnership and collaboration, and everybody kind of bringing their own ideas and opinions to the table and figuring out what to do. Everybody may disagree on the method or how, but everybody agrees that something is meant to be accomplished. So there's some kind of stability and the stability of the structure of somebody's life is out of whack for some of you. Because of the devil, and it's about how do we bring this balance back? What do we do about mom, about our mother-in-law, or it could be somebody else, and kind of working together towards that as a common goal or common cause. For those of you for whom you're afraid to share the news about maybe that you're pregnant or something along those lines that falls under that umbrella, again, I think regardless of how this situation resonates for you, Virgo, the Nine of Swords represents that you're more in fear about it than the situation actually is worth. It's not that bad. The Three of Pentacles would imply that, just come out and say it. And this is a card of teamwork and collaboration and partnership. So just come out and give the news, express your feelings, give the news. This is creating something for the future. It's in the upright position. The Three of Pentacles is a positive card, regardless of what the situation is. If you're afraid about there's somebody that you really like that you want to express your feelings to, you want to ask out, again, just say it in a simple and honest manner as possible, and it's about kind of working together to move forward. I don't see, it looks like the fear is mostly about how do I do something, what's the right thing to do, how do I say the words, how do I offer this, and really building it up to be much, much worse in your head than is the actual reality of the situation. It's just about coming out in a simple and honest way as possible and working with whoever it is that you are communicating with towards a specific goal. Interesting. Lots of different stories going on there. So Virgo, that pretty much wraps up your April 2019 mid-month reading. I hope you found it useful. If any of you are interested in a more personal one-on-one reading with me, particularly if this resonated for you, feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be most happy to work with you. I do love and romance, of course, compatibility charting, career work and finance, investment readings. I offer gift readings for friends, family, loved ones. And I also offer 6 and 12-month overviews, which take a look at what's coming in your life in all the main areas over a 6 or 12-month period, depending on how far ahead you want to look. And you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy. That link is also provided. Instantgo, there's a few different reading options there, but a lot of my clients find it particularly useful for fast answers to the quick, easy, simple questions. If it's something more in-depth or complicated, traditional readings are probably better. So whatever you decide, I look forward to hearing from anyone who is interested. So I will see you all, Virgo, in a couple of weeks for the May 2019 general readings. Until then, as always, I wish you love, peace, blessings, and a happy, happy life. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.